welcome to another great week on the Jet Set. We've got lots planned for you this week. We're talking to Janine Tornatore about the latest updates and advice for travelers considering holiday travel.
And we're taking you out to visit Wilmington, Delaware.
And we're taking you to the Annabelle restaurant to see how they're staying delicious while safe. All this and more is coming up. You're watching the Jet Set.
Welcome aboard. Are you ready to go? Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to travel, food, fitness, and everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. It's time to Jet Set.
It's time to carve into travel news on this week's edition of Here's This, powered by TravelPulse.com. Okay, now a pair of pilots for Russia's Victory Airlines, a division of Aeroflot, are under investigation after they allegedly deviated from their plotted flight plan in order to create a picture of something that we can't show you on TV because it's X-rated, so that when you looked at it on a radar, you'd be able to see the drawing based on where they flew. Now, the incident is being investigated by Russia's Federal Air Transport Agency,
Rosavatsia.
That one. The oversight group believes that the pilots were expressing their support for Russian soccer star and national team captain Artem Dzyuba after there was a video of him that went viral on social media doing something very personal.
Yes.
Well, that's the only way we can describe it. An airline representative said in a statement that, quote, "We do not know what exactly could have been measured in the flight path of our aircraft, but it is possible that the captains of Victory so expressed support for the captain of the national football team, Artem Dzyuba, and showed their attitude to his bullying." Now, the investigation could result in disciplinary action against the pilots.
Listen, you cannot mess with people's football stars, or soccer stars as we call them in America. They are like gigantic, huge celebrities all over the world. So, I mean, they had to have justice for their captain.
But is that what you do?
I don't know, but can you imagine just everyone just laughing?
First of all, you would have to have known what they were doing in order to go on, flight radar to see what they drew.
Yeah.
But obviously, they told someone who told someone who then made it a thing.
I mean, I'm kind of impressed with the pilots.
Well, it's not the first time this has happened. So, when Qantas just retired their last 747, but before it left the shores of Australia, it drew a kangaroo, which is their logo, before it flew to Los Angeles.
And now these guys.
And these guys took it to a whole nother level. I mean, my first thought is, once they deviated from the flight plan, didn't someone radio to them and be like, "Hey, where are you going?"
Right? Especially when it's getting really clear what they're doing.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Just having some fun.
That's what happened in the video that started the whole thing to begin with. Anyway, the US Travel Association is calling on Congress to take immediate action to support the travel industry amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Citing dire spending projections, new figures released by US Travel predict that travel spending in the US will finish the pandemic-plagued year down 45% compared to 2019, and not recover to pre-COVID-19 levels until about 2024. Now, the estimated $617 billion is slightly down from US Travel's previous forecast of $622 billion in July. Last year, nearly twice as much, a total of $1.13 trillion was spent on travel in the United States.
Billions and trillions and gajillions of dollars. I mean, it's crazy. It's also crazy how just everything is so connected.
It is.
It just is that umbrella from the airlines to the restaurants to the luggage to hotels to everything.
I don't think people realize how much the US economy is actually tied into tourism. Because you don't really think, when you go on a business trip to Los Angeles, or if you go to visit your family in whatever state that you don't live in, that's considered tourism.
Because think of all the money that you're spending money in all of those different places.
And all those different people you're encountering, whether it be at the gas station to refill your car, the convenience store to stock up on food to eat while you're driving.
Yeah.
You encounter so many people that all have...
I know. Millions and gajillions of dollars.
We'll be right back in 30 seconds with more of the Jet Set.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call now.
I voted, you voted,
I did.
and we deserve a treat. How better to celebrate the biggest presidential election in history than to have a wonderful meal at Annabelle in the Kalorama district of Washington, D.C., led by a former White House chef. Check it out. So delicious. Okay, Ashok, we are here at Annabelle, which is one of my favorite restaurants, and I love it so much, not only because it's so beautiful, but it's also right around the corner from my house. And this is your latest gem in the Knightsbridge Empire. Tell me a little bit about, it feels like we're in London here. What was the inspiration for Annabelle?
Okay, so there was a restaurant here for 39 years, was called Nora. Iconic restaurant in DC. Nora was the chef. When she decided to retire, this space, the building came available. So I had this dream about owning a restaurant, like a little boutique restaurant in the heart of the city, in a great neighborhood. So I approached her and I said, would you consider, she wanted to sell, I said, would you consider selling it to me? She wanted to give it to the restaurant somebody who will carry her legacy.
Yes.
Okay. So then we started talking about it and I said, look, Frank Ruda will be the chef. Great pedigree, worked for the White House.
Ashok had been bugging me for I don't know how long
20 years.
to team up. And I remember one time he said, "Well, just walk away from my restaurant plane." I said, "But Ashok, I can't. I'm on the lease."
This is my restaurant, Ashok.
His face went, "Oh, okay. Well, you can't go." I said, "No, I can't. I'm stuck here."
So let's talk about like what's going to happen in the wintertime. Are you going to make a tent out there so that we can all enjoy throughout the winter?
So outdoor space, I was very reluctant to serve this quality food on the streets. Okay, I was. But demand was there. And when we put the tables out there under this like old trees, so people generally, they say, oh, it feels like we're sitting in Europe. And people write online, people write, send us a comment saying it's like we are in Paris or somewhere, it feels good.
We're taking you out to visit Wilmington, Delaware right after a quick break.
Living through a pandemic has changed the way we all shop. It has also made health and well-being a #1 priority in our lives. Walgreens has launched their newly redesigned mobile app with extensive new benefits, including the fastest same-day retail pickup offering available today, making it easier to stay well and shop safely.
Living through a pandemic has changed the way we all shop. It has also made health and well-being a #1 priority in our lives. Here at Walgreens, our customers tell us they want convenient and personalized shopping experiences, as well as advice on health and wellness to help them take care of their families. As a response, we are excited to announce the launch of My Walgreens, a first-of-its-kind connected customer experience. My Walgreens makes it easier to stay well, shop, and save for our 100 million plus members. It connects our customers in-store, online, and via app, bringing together our footprint of more than 9,000 stores nationwide and the expertise of 25,000 community pharmacists. We provide valuable tools and services at a time when you need it the most, like convenient same-day pickup options, in-store, curbside, or drive-through in as little as 30 minutes. That's the fastest in retail. My Walgreens has reinvented the nation's largest health and well-being customer loyalty program, helping our members save money through cash rewards and exclusive deals. Our customers can also give back by donating their My Walgreens cash rewards to charity. Our exciting new interactive health and well-being centered app puts our customers' health and the health of the community at its core, giving our customers real-time flu alerts, 24/7 access to pharmacists, and the ability to find and book medical care. What's more, we will also be announcing even more rewarding ways customers can benefit from My Walgreens. In fact, this is just the beginning.
We're rediscovering the joy of the road trip as a safe way to scratch that travel itch, and this week our road tripping took us to Wilmington, Delaware.
So Joe, we are here at the Wilmington Waterfront. This is totally beautiful. I love this. Okay, tell me what's going on kind of all along here with these beautiful restaurants and hotels, and this is kind of is this a new project? What's going on?
Well, not new, but definitely just always evolving and developing. The Wilmington Riverfront is on the Christina River. It's about 1.25 miles of a riverwalk and boardwalk where we have hotels, we have a lot of different restaurants with indoor and outdoor seating, attractions. There's plenty of residences, condos, things like that. Just a lot of different stuff to do for all sorts of families, young couples, things like that.
Yeah, there's a little bit for everybody. The Children's Museum is here. You guys have a market here. There's the convention center here. There's the minor league baseball stadium here. What I really like is there's a little something for everybody. And look at how beautiful this is. This is amazing.
There really is, yeah. I mean, there is definitely something for everyone to do, no matter what your interests are, no matter what you're into, for just to come down for the day. It's a lot of free parking, a lot of, like I said, the hotels. You can make a weekend out of it.
What's kind of coming up in the next year or so down here? What are you guys working on?
We are in the process of actually kind of starting this on the other side of the river.
Oh, cool.
So that is, obviously a few years coming, but we're working on that, developing the other side, sort of make it, just again, mirror this a little bit with a lot of green spaces, a lot of restaurants, residences, obviously a walkway, things like that. In the near future, obviously, actually for the holiday season, we're in the process of setting up a drive-through light show.
Oh, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
That night, we dined at Bardea in downtown Wilmington, a James Beard finalist. Helmed by Scott Stein and Antimo DeMeo, the restaurant utilizes ingredients from local Delaware Valley farms and features modern interpretations of traditional Italian and Mediterranean dishes. The house-made pasta and cocktails were amazing, but the porterhouse is one of the best I've ever had. We traveled to the banks of the Brandywine to visit the Hagley Museum and Library.
Laura, this place is absolutely magnificent. It feels like we're in another world, doesn't it?
I never want to leave, because even just like you're just relaxed hearing the water in the background.
But it also feels like we've gone in a time machine and ended up in 1845. Tell us a little bit about where we are in the history of this amazing place.
Hagley is the place where E.I. DuPont founded the DuPont company in 1802, so you're absolutely right, it's about a step back in time. So here, Hagley is spread out over 235 beautiful acres along the Brandywine. Here you can kind of see restored mills, demonstrations, all that show how black powder was manufactured, where it was done here for over 120 years.
Wow, so this is like the beginning. This is really, really cool. So there are all of these buildings along the river, and this was where all of the black powder, as it's called, was kind of made. So they used the river, and then they used all these beautiful stones that are from this area to make all these gorgeous buildings.
That's right. So this location was selected because of all the natural resources that were right here. So they harnessed the power of the water to power the mills. They used the natural resources like the timber and then the natural rock here called blue gneiss to make some of the mills.
Once a sort of factory compound that housed hundreds of workers and their families, it's now a place to study the history of business and technology in America, and for hands-on experiences and demonstrations of what industry was like in the early 19th century.
We're going to get a firecracker kind of effect in about 5 seconds.
Whoa!
Around.
Very good. So it went all the way around.
Right.
And that means we got some good powder here.
This holiday season is going to be a bit tough for all of us, but especially those travelers out there. We've got a collection of travel and aviation themed products that are sure to be a hit with you or the travelers in your life. Now, first up, we have the new Pan Am game. Now, Pan Am and aviation lovers out there were waiting for this game. Originally, it was only available at Target, but we've now got our hands on a few so that you can get a few of them for yourselves. Now, you can get this on the jetset.tv/shop for $40 right now with free 2-day shipping. And there is a lot of other deals there, too, that we couldn't fit on the wing deck.
Yeah, we've got a lot of things for Christmas. The holidays are coming.
These are your gifts. I'm not
Hold on.
for you.
Bye-bye.
We've got lots more of the Jet Set coming up in just a minute. Don't go anywhere. Thanksgiving typically marks the busiest travel weekend of the year, with millions of travelers hitting the roads and taking off in airports around the country. This holiday season will no doubt look very different, with many Americans still staying close to home and winter destinations working to implement safety measures that will encourage visitors. Now, travel expert Janine Tornatore is here to break down the latest information to help us understand the changes being made and how it will affect their travel experience, from airport procedures to new safety protocols at major winter destinations like ski resorts. Janine, welcome to the show. We need all this information.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Janine, what will holiday travel look like this year?
Well, obviously we all know it's going to look different. And the thing is, data is changing from day to day at this point. So what we can expect is that we're still going to see some of those tried and true busy days over the holidays, the day before Thanksgiving, that Sunday at the end of the weekend. We're probably going to see that it's more cars on the road than people going through the airports this year. But certainly we will still see an uptick. I think that one other trend that we're going to see for people that do plan to get out and travel, it may not be going to visit family and friends. It may be taking those socially distanced vacations, and for a lot of people, taking them for a bit longer because they have that flexibility of work from home and learn from home schedules.
Well, just like you said, we're probably seeing more people on the roads, but aside from that, how are travelers adapting their plans?
Well, this definitely isn't the year to kind of fly by the seat of your pants and go spontaneously. We're seeing that it is requiring people to do more advanced planning. So while some people may be traveling a little bit more last minute, you do need to plan in advance because there are so many more places that require reservations, down to going to state parks and local attractions.
Janine, how are winter resort destinations adapting?
Well, the big theme here at all the resorts I've talked to is safety, safety, safety. Of course, that's no surprise, but what they're really focused on is educating people on about what they can expect when they arrive, so they know people are going to be coming. So a great example is one of the top destinations for winter travel in the country, Breckenridge, Colorado. They're doing things like they have mandated mask zones. Even in their downtown zone where all their restaurants and shops are, it's masks indoors and outdoors. When you get in those ski lift lines, you're going to have your mask on. When you get on the ski lift, you're going to have your mask on. So they're really pushing that in a big way. They're also focused on a lot of the lodging protocols, right? So we're seeing this around the country, but a lot of their major resorts have instituted those hospital grade sanitization processes and that kind of technology. And a big thing they're doing as well is they've spent the last 6 months expanding their terrain. So for things like snowshoeing and fat tire biking, even sledding hills, they've expanded those and created more outdoor areas so people can do those traditional activities but more easily distanced from each other.
I think you just sold Nikki on going to Breckenridge. I mean, not that she needed to be sold to go to Breckenridge to begin with, but she's so desperate to go anywhere, being outside and snow tubing and sledding. She hates the cold, but she'd go in the cold right now.
Yes, and Breckenridge is so beautiful.
Yeah, and it's not just about these ski destinations either. A lot of the country, when you live in a cold destination, you're looking to go somewhere warm. And so we're seeing that people are still looking for those warm weather, wide open spaces. And I really am recommending this is the year to kind of think like a contrarian. Beach destinations are great, but we know those sandy strips, there's just not as much room to spread out and social distance. So looking to those desert destinations could be a great alternative this year. Places like Scottsdale, Arizona, they typically call this their secret season because this time of year, occupancy rates are significantly down. That means there's less people at the hotels, better hotel rates, but they're also really focused on educating people that, look, we have the great downtown and the vibrant, galleries and restaurants, but we also have great outdoor activities and wide open spaces.
So Janine, if someone needs to cancel their travel, we're running out of time, but if someone needs to cancel their reservations, most hotels and airlines have some waived fees, right?
They do. We're still seeing really generous cancellation policies and a lot of flexibility from the supplier side, whether you're talking about your airline or your hotel. So you do need to make sure that before you book those, you're checking them on the details to make sure that exactly what you want to book has that flexibility, because there are some nuances when you get into those busier holiday weeks right around Christmas where you may not have as much flexibility as during some of the off-peak times.
Hey, Janine, this is all great information. Where can people find more information?
Well, I would first recommend, if you're heading to a destination, to check out the Visitors Bureau websites. That is the best place to go for the latest on COVID restrictions and procedures. So we talked about Scottsdale. That would be holidays in Scottsdale. Always just Google the visitor web pages to find that information. You can also follow me. I'm at theoutsideinsider.com, and I always put a lot of my great content up there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Janine. Such great information.
My pleasure.
We'll be right back with more of the Jet Set in just a minute.
This holiday season, we're helping you deliver the gift of travel to your friends, family members, or even yourself, since most of us are grounded due to the pandemic.
More specifically, you.
All of the offers you're about to see are exclusively available on our website, thejetset.tv/shop.
All right, now first up, you can give the gift of a year subscription to Travel and Leisure magazine. 12 issues of the magazine that specializes in leisure travel and often features articles by novelists, poets, artists, designers, and non-travel journalists. They're also known for their photography.
Yes.
1 year is usually $75, but this week it's $15.
And it's just so gorgeous. Every article and every photograph in there is just beautiful.
It's an easy escape without leaving your couch.
Exactly. Okay. Now for the kids, we've got National Geographic Kids. National Geographic Kids is a fact-filled, fast-paced magazine created especially for ages 6 and up, with an award-winning combination of photos, facts, and fun. Usually, Bobby, a year subscription is $55.
Okay.
But this week, it's just $35.
That's not bad at all.
And even though Sam's almost 3, I'm still gonna get this for her too. It's fun for everybody.
Well, and plus the pictures and the games in there too to keep them occupied.
Yeah, and you can find all of this at thejetset.tv/shop, and they're available until we sell out, so
all
you
of
gotta
these
hurry.
products too. And we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye. I'm gonna take this and this.